AI is really changing everything in several ways, right? So right now we're in the era of going from deep learning to Gen AI to agentic AI, which is, Gen AI is, I'm talking to ChatGPT, talking to Claude. Agentic AI is now I can send AI agents off to do jobs, and then we're headed towards, and this is where this industry lives, physical AI, right? And so when we think about all those together, you have how we change the nature of work in this space. How do we fill in the missing expertise? We have a huge retiring problem in the building industry where all of these experts from building automation to construction, HVAC, building management, they are now in their 50s and they are aging out, and we have a problem of filling those roles. So how will we fulfill those same jobs with AI? And then how do we structure the AI of the marketplace of the infrastructure of buildings? And so all those things together is this huge transformational change that's going to happen in this industry over the next few years. You have first the foundational piece, which is autonomous buildings. So most people are familiar with autonomous vehicles. This is largely taking the brain from an autonomous vehicle, teaching about buildings. But what's different in buildings is every building's different, right? So that is fundamentally the thing that PassiveLogic and others coming into this space will have to acknowledge, is that buildings are unique, right? So once you have that autonomous building platform, you have another key part of how do we, as people across the life cycle of buildings, work together with AI agents and work in our processes, digitally connected in those processes from the beginning to the end of the life cycle of building, from install and construction to owner-operator to maintenance management to tenant services, all connected through these AI agents. The third piece is how do we connect to the outside world, right? So buildings in smart cities, you can't have smart cities unless you have smart buildings, right? And so once you have those autonomous buildings, those buildings can start acting as their own trading agents on the energy markets with one another and with utilities and with different energy use, demand, and storage resources. And then how do you bring all this together? The fourth component is you really need this sort of next generation digital twin, this AI-based digital twin that understands what buildings are and what the things in buildings do. And then once you define that, all of these three other topics can work together. So first, we have to separate the soft terminology of digital twins that people have been throwing around for years from what we mean when we say these AI digital twins. And the reason that, first, what have people been talking about with digital twins historically is they usually mean I've got a BIM drawing and maybe I have some data. But for this physical AI, for autonomous buildings to work, you need definitions of buildings. You need to know who you are as a building and what's inside of you and what's going on. And that requires this sort of physicality, this description that only digital twins can fulfill. And so it solves that problem of buildings can now know who they are, what's in them, who are the people, all these different aspects. But it also solves another really key problem in AI, which is once you have digital twins, you can simulate your own futures, and you can do it much, much faster than real buildings go. So that allows buildings to be able to learn orders of magnitude faster than they would be on their own in real time. Because in one night, a building can simulate many hundreds or thousands of years of its possible futures that it learns from, and then can apply that learning to each day after. So it's part of the learning loop of what we see in modern reinforcement learning.